I usually do some philanthropy work out in town. This day I was at I Saved the Youth program back in the hood, and I wanted to see what the elders was going to tell the children. So I walked in the building, and they were spitting off a bunch of statistics. So where I'm from, like, kids ain't scared of no numbers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting in the back of the room because I was appreciating the fact that they was even sitting down trying to communicate and bridging the gap between the ages. But as soon as I walked in, I sat in the back. The lady went to the stage. She said, "Oh, Light, you in the back. Light, come to the stage and say something to the kids." So I came, okay, for sure, I'm gonna come say something. So when I got to the front of the stage, you know, I just told them the truth as I know it, because I couldn't really front, because a lot of these kids have seen me grow up as well. So I ain't always been on the right side of the road, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to sound too hypocritical, but with knowledge comes hypocrisy, you know what I'm saying? So I walked to the front and said, I can't tell y'all not to hustle. If your mother and father couldn't tell you not to hustle, I definitely can't tell you not to hustle. But what I will tell you is it's a game and it's not designed for us to win. So bullets or balls, the cage or the grave, you pick what you want me to do with your money. Put it in your commissary or get your mama a black dress. Then I walked off. Ain't no big conversation for me, you know what I'm saying? So I walked off and the lady grabbed me. I was like, "What's up?" She said, "Hey, you gonna come in here, you can speak better than that, whatever, get back to that hood stuff tomorrow." I'm thinking, where we come from, like, one of my sister's best friend's kids just killed their mama. A little girl, 19 years old, just got killed in my town because the guy that was going after her boyfriend couldn't get to her, so he shot her. It's on the news, Conway, South Carolina. So when she said, "Get back to that hood stuff tomorrow," I'm thinking, well, what if tomorrow never comes? And the things that I say on the stage in my last will and statements to our sons, I ask will my statements help to raise the young, or will this be disregarded as jargon that was written by artists who was simply waiting for his day to come? But what if my days was never intended? And the sole purpose of my life was to write this final life sentence. I wonder, would I waste my time in ignorance trying to convince you all that I'm brilliant, or would I sincerely write something that might genuinely help to affect our children? I tell them that you're the products of your environment, poorly educated through a neglected school system. We're the victims of broken homes, the illegitimate children, the teenage mothers, and deadbeat daddies who were rolling stones with the indigenous inhabitants of the ghetto American slums, where every day you can watch the American dream become the ghetto's nightmare, because we live right here off the Martin Luther Kings, where every day you can watch your dreams get shot and buried in the dirt. So you can accurately answer Lacey Hughes' question of what happens to our dreams deferred. Our dreams got pushed to the curb to serve fiends. We got taught by older G's to jump. It's the real world, B. And we ain't got time for dreaming. Get caught out here sleeping and get shot. You see, they told me that was one of 3 ways out together. The other 2 is you can sling crack rock or you got to wicked jump shot. So if your crossover ain't nice, you better meet me on the block. You see, my mom's are strung out, my little sister ain't eat for days. So what does it benefit me to sit in the classroom to learn that I ain't nothing but a descendant of a slave? 8 hours in the class trying to score hundreds on this grade, but I could get hundreds off this corner if I could just score a big 8. I mean, how do you stand down the man-child that's trying to balance out his moral obligations against his hunger pain? I mean, how do you stand down the man-child that's trying to balance out his rights against his wrongs when he seen right didn't always end right? Because all of his life he's watched his moms trying to live right but right, left him with the lights off, 5 days eating egg and rice on a cold project floor. Wrong. But he seen his wrongs got it right. Got his kicks and his gear tight. His wrongs cut on the light, put food on his plate. He did wrong trying to make right for his moms because his pops had been gone. So what do you say to the boy that's been standing in a man's place? You're misplaced. We are in a state of emergency. I need you to emerge and see that we are the victims of psychological terrorism. Way before 9/11 and the FEMA disposition, we've been willing into the bondage of Reaganomics. They pump crack in our communities for the children to rationalize what right and wrong is. They pump crack in the starving community like, here's the key. These are the keys to unlock you from your bondage. See, they're funding our children's crimes. They make more prisons than school systems because they know it's money and not the miles, and now they handing out football numbers like they ain't concerned for time. So boys go in, men come out. And now you're looking for a job, but equal opportunity employers don't hire fellas, you federally disenfranchised. But if you still got mouths to feed, I guess it's back to the grind. The cycle never completes. When we go open our eyes, I mean, what if tomorrow never comes? And the things that I say on the stage of my last will and statements to our sons, I tell them the death has been set against us, and growing up in the ghetto is hard. But what could be against us if we're the descendants of the Most High God? I mean, what if tomorrow never comes? And the things that I say on the stage of my last will and statements to our sons, and tell them you are the descendants of slaves. But anybody who tries to degrade you and tell you nothing for that, you can tell them
your ancestors had to go through some fires, and if you're still standing, it means you came from a family of survivors. I mean, what if tomorrow never comes, and my sole purpose in life is to write the final life sentence? What would I tell our children? Our children that's been this type of pressure for as long as they've been alive. I tell them pressure can bust pipes, or pressure can make diamonds, but eventually we gotta choose to shine.